Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the magic hour. Happy Friday. Hope y'all had a good week. Man, this is why we live in Colombia, right? This week has been just beautiful. Hope y'all got a chance to get out there and spend some time, get some vitamin D in the sun. All right, we'll get to it. Well, I don't even know where to start on National Day. So it's the first National Chuck and Pearls Day after the Vice President. It's Global Champagne Day, which may actually lead some people to smile. First Responders Day, so we want to give a shout out to all the first responders. That's great. National Chocolate Day. I'm torn between National Breadstick Day and National Bandana Day. But for those that think of these things, congratulations. Anyway, the scary thing is today's the 301st day of the year, and there are only 64 days left in the year. For those that are thinking about holidays, you got less time. So keep that move that to the front burner, just saying. All right, news coming out of DC or just national news this week. The economy obviously driving things. It is just a roller coaster, isn't it? Tech's taking a bath. Oil folks are just bathing in cash. Exxon, 19 billion in profits just in the third quarter. Ooh, 19 billion. That's a record for them. But GDP excuse me. Let me try that again. GDP exceeded expectations, 2.6% growth this year, which was kind of crazy. But consumer spending is down. So that's why the stocks are all over the place, because you're seeing, again, mixed bag. I was in Charleston for a conference this week and had an economist speak yesterday. Really enjoyed him. He used to be an economist for the Fed, and then he was the chief economist for Lehman Brothers up until 2003. So this guy knows what he's talking about. He goes, forget what I've ever done in 40 years predicting what the economy is going to do. We're in uncharted territories. Usually you kind of know exactly what's going to happen. There's a high level of predictability. He goes, throw it out, because whatever we're seeing now, we've never seen before, which is actually interesting and scary at the same time, because what we're rewriting history with this financial issue that we're in. But we fully expect new earnings, people coming out this week or later today on some stocks. So it'll be another crazy day for the economy. But if y'all knows, I love Twitter, but they got a new sheriff in town. We'll see what happens there in the next coming weeks. But we know 3 new people that are looking for a job, CFO, CEO, and the chief legal counsel, which is interesting, of Twitter, all out because of the richest man in the world who has bought it. So anyway, we'll see how the tweets fly. All right, the other big news, truly the elections. Nationally, lots at stake. So on Tuesday, we got a lot to look for the national elections. All, for everybody's sake, the House looks like it's definitely going Republicans. The question is the Senate, and how close are they? I don't know if anybody watched that debate in Pennsylvania the other day, and I really didn't. But that's going to be phenomenal, phenomenally interesting, I should say. I'll go ahead and say it. I mean, I felt like this in some of our elections. Pennsylvania is a big state, and that's what you got to pick from. Anyway, it's a statement of people that really want to get to politics. But anyway, that's just my personal opinion. But the same is true here in South Carolina. Big election on Tuesday. And I told you this before, this is the biggest snoozer I've ever seen for an election. But there are probably 2 or 3 seats that are going to flip in the House representatives. We'll see. Usually those things are done on the primary, but there may be a couple of surprises on Tuesday. We'll wait to watch out. What was surprising was this being the first year that folks could vote early with giving no excuses or whatever, but 2 weeks early. Voter turnout's huge. I mean, Horry County led the way with Charleston and Greenville, and then Richland County followed suit. Wow, that's going to be, they're not going to keep up, right? Everybody went out the first day, and we've seen a drop off since then, but it's pretty, there's a lot of interest. And again, people vote with their pocketbook. And so when the economy's great, voter turnout sort of slows down. But when the economy's iffy or poor, that's when people turn out pretty high. So expect high turnout on Tuesday for that. Let's get a little bit local. I mean, little deja vu, Coke, new Coke, USC, U of SC. Welcome back, USC. We're glad to have you. I would put them both in the category of poorly timed marketing, whatever. I don't know the story. There was some lawsuit issues or whatever, but we're glad that's behind us.
Carl, as a proud alum of USC, I thank the good Lord every day they have eliminated the U of SC. I did not graduate from the U of SC. That was one of the worst decisions a school that has a journalism school has ever come up with.
Yeah, well.
Rant over.
That was the common theme on social media. So big props to, I think the alums are thrilled with Dr. Amaritas and his decision to revert back. So yeah, hopefully it'll just be a laughing, good joke in the next 10 years that, you remember that time that they did that stupid thing? Anyway, we'll see.
We put a preposition into the name of our school. Okay, I promise. Rant's over now.
All right. Well, speaking of USC, was good lobbying effort by a bunch of college kids trying to get Apple store here in Columbia. I will see how that fares, but they do have one little store. It's tiny, but not a full Apple store in Columbia. So, but I think it's an interesting approach to attract industry or business into town is getting a lobbying effort by the USC students. So that's great. We got it was an interesting press conference. My days are running together. I think it was Wednesday on the Rapid Shelter initiative from the city and propping up some little shelters for homeless folks, for the chronically homeless. Anyway, for those that can't find a place in any other service providers, but be on the lookout. Tuesday morning, we're going to have at our issues meeting on Tuesday, we're having Teresa Wilson as well as Dr. Oddity Bustles will be at the chamber to talk about their response to homeless, and Oddity did a great job. Excuse me, Dr. Bustles did a really nice job of chairing her committee, and this was one of their recommendations coming out of that committee. So tune in or come see us on Tuesday morning to check that out. Also, put on your radar, Monday, November 14th, there's going to be a meeting for the Blossom Street Bridge project being updated by DOT. That one, listen, of all the projects, and Ted gave a great update in our public policy committee the other day on all the things DOT's doing. This one is one that's going to impact all of us in downtown Columbia. So they were going to be replacing the Blossom Street Bridge. 2024, 2025 timeframe, Ted?
Excuse me, my apologies. I'll have to double check the dates.
It's out a little bit, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
planning for it now, and that's going to be a necessary disruption. But trying to get around, it's going to be like game day. Speaking of game day, traffic sucked. I don't know. Sorry, it was awful on Saturday. I may start a petition to figure out how we can get a bye week and an away game during the fair. I don't know why we can't figure that one out, but I was only stuck an hour and a half and I had 3 miles. So for those that had longer waits, I'm sorry, and mine was not as bad as others, but that was a doozy. But a great game. Anecdotally, I had the most fun. I was sitting with a couple at the game, and she had just gotten a new Apple Watch. Less than a minute into the game, the Apple Watch started going off saying the decibel levels were so high, you need to maybe lower it. And it was crazy. It was the loudest place I'd seen in a long time. So kudos to them on that big win and getting ranked 25th. But they got to show up this weekend. But it was kind of fun. It made the traffic more palatable only because it was so loud. Anyway, homecoming this week versus Mizzou, kickoff at 4 o'clock. And then they got a doozy of a schedule in November. So just putting that up. All right. And for those of you that, while we love you having a job and joining us here, the Powerball is at $800 million. So if you want to retire early, go get your tickets, because that one's going to be a doozy as well. So let's see what else I got. Well, that's about it. But what do y'all have for me today? Any interesting tidbits, pearls of wisdom for us, or anything going on with your organizations?
Hey, Carl, just a reminder, the only place you can see the Powerball drawing live is on WLTX. You asked, I had to say.
That was awesome. Nice. Yes. So good luck, everybody, on that one. By the way, if I do win, I don't know if I'm going to see y'all next week. Just saying. I just want to keep it real and maintain. I'm trying to manage expectations. Okay. All right. What else? Anybody?
Hey, Carl, I heard a couple of years ago a surefire way that someone could win the Powerball.
Just buy it.
If they played it 35,000 times a day, every single day for the next 600 years, then they're certain to win once.
I like those odds.
What amount? Don't know.
So do the math on that one. How long you got to play to guarantee a win? But 800 million, that's a lot of duckies. Yeah. That's enough money that I would not feel guilty of missing coffee with Carl. I promise you that.
I would hope you would buy us all coffee, Carl.
Hey, coffee on me for a while. Yeah, that's a deal. By yourself, it may not be, you get it. All right, because y'all may have to find me on a beach somewhere. All right. I know somebody's got some good for the order today. Or y'all just ready to bolt out of here? Need more coffee, Brent?
It's $153 million you would invest.
Look at that. Well, that's still not a bad rate of return in a sad way. All right. Well, I saw Amy put some stuff in Ride Jaunt. Welcome to Columbia. They're around free rides around downtown Columbia for a tip. But they're great new partners as well.
Carl, I'll give a plug as we go into November and December for businesses looking for health insurance. They have some additional options because of open enrollment for small group. Obviously, you hear all about it for individual, but for small business owners, there is an open enrollment period where we waive and lower some participation requirements. That gives groups avenues that they can only get in this little window over the next 4 to 6 weeks. So encourage you, if you're looking for that, Blue Cross would love to have a conversation.
And now is the time. Absolutely. All right. It's been a long week for y'all, I'm thinking. There were a lot of activities last night too. So I saw a bunch of y'all last night. So good to see y'all. It's great to be out and about. But there was a lot of out and about last night. Columbia was packed. And so was the interstate yesterday. So kudos to DOT for ramping up that. I'll tell you what, I may have said a few not so nice things yesterday. Primarily because people driving in the left lane, but y'all, I don't need to go back on that soapbox. All right. I'm going to be doing on location next week. I got a conference in Charleston. All of my chamber friends from around the country are coming to Charleston for a conference next week. So I'll be here, but I'll just be remote. So different background, but I'll listen. I look forward to seeing you there. One last plug for anybody. This may be a record short one because I thought y'all had some good stuff today. Go enjoy National Champagne Day and Chocolate Day. I'll be here next week. We'll make it quick. Y'all have a great day. Oh, look. Don't forget, Columbia City Ballet is performing Dracula tonight. Tomorrow, that's a great performance. So go check it out. Y'all have a great weekend. Go Gamecocks. And we'll see y'all back here next week. Take care.